Reynolds isn't here today. Bet you never thought anybody from the pulpit would say that. Because he's always giving me grief about not having a title. Today I have a title for the sermon and he's not here to appreciate it. Now, as I have said repeatedly, will always say, you can take these passages that come to the preaching time for the lectionary, and it's almost always impossible to talk about it all. Well, actually, it's not impossible to talk about it all. It's impossible for you to sit and listen as I talk about it all, because I could go on and that wouldn't be any problem. Mr. Brown applauds. Yeah. So there's always something that jumps out, and for me, it was that question that the disciples asked: "Is this the time? Is this it?" Now, obviously, we don't know, and we'll never know, because all we can do is read between the lines. But when I hear that question from them in this context, within the whole Gospel of Luke, I get this sense of them asking, "Are we done? Is this it? Have we done everything you want us to do?" And Jesus says, as Jesus often does, answers very cryptically, "You don't know when the time's going to be." Jesus has many parables where he talks about that. The thief in the night. You never know when it's going to happen. The ruler that had tons and tons of stuff, more than his barns could hold. So he tore down those barns and built bigger barns. And as soon as he got done with the biggest barn and had it completely full, he died. Moral of the story was, you don't know when it's going to happen, so live for the moment. Live in the moment. And that's what kind of resonated with me as I was reading this. And I know within these walls, within the walls of the church I served in St. Louis, within the walls of every church that Kathy and I have ever attended, North Church, the Episcopal, every church has this same thing. We're all tired. How many people here, don't have to raise your hand, rhetorical, but just think. How many of you have been doing things for the church for more than 2 or 3 years on a regular basis? It's a lot of the people that I see here. Most of the people that I see. Almost all the people I see. It gets old. You get tired. One of the things that I heard from every church that I talked to, this one being no exception, we need to bring in new people. Well, why do we need to bring in new people? The number one answer was never, ever money. It was, we need new people to do some stuff so we don't have to anymore. We're tired. We look at Sunday school teachers. We look at folks taking care of the nursery and the little kids during church. And you go around and you ask folks. And the response that you hear, again, almost universally is, "I've paid my dues. I've done my time. I'm finished. I just want to come and sit and listen to the wonderful music and the moving words and be in communion with my friends and go home. Because I'm tired." Apostles were feeling that same way. Now, these dudes were weenies because they'd only been doing it for 3 years. So come on, 3 years, you can do anything for 3 years. But they had added up. They'd been away from family. They'd been away from friends. They'd been following this guy all around Galilee. to Jerusalem to watch him die. They were tired. They wanted to know that it was almost over. And Jesus couldn't give them that answer because, quite frankly, Jesus didn't know. Because Jesus makes very clear there's only one entity that knows when that's going to happen, and that is God. And when in God's time it's right, it, just like everything, will happen. And until that time, it is our responsibility. It is the command given us by God through Christ to do whatever needs to be done, however long it needs to be done. Now, quite frankly, that's a pretty unappealing response or an answer to get. When we start talking about things, when I've been talking with the executive council and all the books that I've been trying to read and reread, we should go and hold our sign. Bell's Angels here. Come on in. Bell's Angels. That's what we need. We need a logo for the Bell's Angels with the devil and all that stuff. Hold that thought. Yeah, he's holding. Yeah. My wife's already sketching back there. Oh, this will be great. This will be good. It's very unappealing because we want a finite answer. So as I've been reading books, talking to me, one of the things that everyone says is, put together ad hoc committees. That's a committee that is charged with a specific task, and when the task is over, you're done. An example that South Church is familiar with of that in your very recent history is the search committee. That was an ad hoc committee that, from what I've heard, felt like more than an ad hoc committee. It felt like going to Christ and saying, is it over yet? Are we done? Is this it? But having a particular task, doing the task, and then being finished. We love that. That sense of completion, that sense of being done, so that we can then respond to anyone that says, hey, can you help us with this? And Diane can say, oh, I've already helped. I was on that 7-day committee that took care of planning the lunch. Whew. I'm beat. Leave me alone. She got a job. She saw it through. Job was over. We're great. And that's the way most of us like it to be. But I have news for you, friends. The church ain't like that. The church, like almost all of life, is very messy. There isn't a whole lot of order out there. They're going again. See, I'm just jealous because I don't have one, that's all. So, there's very little order. There's constantly chaos, and even when we try to plan, things go off in different directions that we have to be ready for. Jobs that we think, okay, we're going to get to this point. We never get there. We keep working, we keep going, but it seems like it's the proverbial carrot in front of the horse. Just can't quite get to it, no matter how hard we try. And that's frustrating for us. I understand that. There are days, and Kathy will testify to this, there are days when I will take a day off work and clean the house. I'll start at the top, I'll work all the way to the bottom, I put my little iPod buds in, and I just clean my little hoofies off. I mean, I scrub toilets, floors, the whole bit. And I do it for me. Not because I like an immaculate house, but because I want to see a job done. I want to participate in something that I can look at and say, it's finished. Until Kathy points out the dust bunnies the next day that are under the bed because of the dog, and then everything just goes to heck. But at least I did something that I could see an end to. In ministry, in church life, that's not often the case. We're continually working as we grow. And the continuation of the responsibilities, of the calls, of the jobs, of the tasks, this is a good thing. It's opportunities for ministry for us as individuals and as a congregation to serve God and to serve God's creation here where we're planted. It provides opportunities for us to grow. I don't know how many times somebody has just grudgingly said, all right, I'll take this on only because I'm tired of hearing about it from everybody that it needs to be finished. I'll do it. And they find out how well they can do it and how much they enjoy doing it. What pleasure and what satisfaction came from it. It's never, ever over. And it's never, ever enough until God says so. And I have not heard anything remotely indicating God saying, okay, guys, it's going to end in November. So, you better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout. I'm telling you why. November's coming, Jesus is coming. Do a good job or else. Jesus isn't Santa Claus. We don't have a date on the calendar when it's going to come. A date that we can work towards, a date that we can hold individuals hostage to. We have to live every day as if the next day will be the one that Jesus will come. We need to live each moment preparing ourselves for that time. And that means constantly being alert, constantly being ready, constantly doing the work of God wherever we're called and wherever we're planted. Now, we're going to be having the annual meeting in a few weeks. And one of the things that we're going to talk about are new opportunities for ministry here at South Congregational Church in the community and around the world. I know that one of the responses from some folks will be, oh, but I'm tired. I don't want to do anymore. I've done my share. And I can understand where it's coming from, because quite frankly, I have felt that way. But what we need to remind ourselves, and what we need to constantly remind each other, is that each and every day, each and every breath that we take is a gift and a blessing from God. Blessings that have been rained down upon us, that rain down upon us now, and will continue to shower us in the future. God does not stop. We are made in the image of God, therefore, we can't stop. Will there be times when we will feel exhausted, when we'll feel discouraged and defeated? Of course there are. But that's why God has provided communities for us to work within. So that no one person has to do it all. No one person has to carry the load. And when people are tired, that there are those around them to lift them up, to nurture them, to encourage them, to provide guidance, to pick them up so that they can continue on. Individually, none of us can do the things that God has called South Congregation to do. It is only working in concert, working in communion, working tirelessly, working with faith that God will guide us, will uphold us, will nurture us, and lead us. Only then can we begin to live into the blessings that God has given us. Only then can we truly respond to the call that God has made to our blessed congregation. The few things I can promise you, whatever we decide, it won't be easy. It will not happen overnight. And it will take the efforts of every one of the people of South Congregational Church to do faithfully and effectively. And four, there will be something for every member of the church to participate in. No one will be able to respond and say, nobody asked me. Well, there wasn't anything I can do. Oh, I'm too little. Oh, I'm too old. None of those excuses will work. Because God will provide opportunities for all of us to share our blessings, to share our gifts, together in communion so that we might serve God. It is only living in that way, working in that way, that when the time comes, whenever it is, that we can be ready.